In the future Trunks arc, the Kaioshin apprentice, Zamas, had made a wish to switch bodies with Son Goku, the mortal who was the catalyst for what would become the Zero Mortals plan. This body swap led to the creation of Goku Black, who would go on to use a time ring to find his alternate self and make that version of himself immortal. This raises a question though. Why didn't Goku Black become immortal as well, or instead of Zamas? In episode 59 of Dragon Ball Super, Goku Black explains to Zamas that his desire is a power with an unlimited height rather than an immortal body. This does leave us with a different question though. What if Goku Black had wished for immortality instead of Zamas? Before we get into that, make sure you hit like and subscribe for more Dragon Ball content. Goku Black had just discovered a timeline without Beerus alive in it. This is the future timeline, which is home to none other than future Trunks. Once he arrives, Goku Black realizes that this body would not be enough on its own to enact his plans. But instead of seeking his future counterpart, a version of himself so weak-willed that he still hasn't acted on his thoughts about mortals, he decides to collect the Super Dragon Balls again and wish for himself to become immortal. He was now the sword and the shield. The ultimate offense meets the ultimate defense, an existence that even the gods of destruction can't destroy. But he still wasn't strong enough to kill them directly either. Using his knowledge as an apprentice Kaioshin, Goku Black goes and kills the Kaioshins of each universe in order to end the issue of the Gods of Destruction for the time being. With mortals as his next target, there would be no one to replace these Gods of Destruction either, so he begins his Zero Mortal plan, starting with the universe that has caused him the most grief, Universe 7. For a year, things play out the same as they did in the original story. Goku Black and Trunks play their game of cat and mouse because Black was looking to use Trunks as a training dummy. He's exploiting the Saiyan cycle of fighting and is using it to advance his knowledge of Goku's body further so that he may fully access its power. This of course leads to Trunks going back in time, Goku fighting Goku Black, and after giving Bulma the time she needs to repair the time machine, a trip back to the future. This is where things begin to change as the battle with Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black is not interrupted by future Zamas appearing on the battlefield. So, the moment just before Zamas arrives was Goku Black charging a Kamehameha at Goku who's on the ground. The attack launches in this version of events, but Goku is able to dodge with an instant transmission. Where normally we'd have a fight with Goku and Trunks versus Zamas and Goku Black, here the two only have Goku Black to contend with. This makes things simpler, but they are quickly made aware of the fact that the fallen god is now immortal. This leads to him winning the fight despite the numbers advantage. However, Vegeta saves the two before Black can deliver the final blow, and Yajirobe carries them off the battlefield. Black goes to finish off Vegeta instead, but is interrupted once again by the human resistance. While things haven't been very different till this point, that's about to change as the mystery of Goku Black is still there. With no Zamas fighting at his side, it's now unclear if Zamasu is actually involved or their ki being similar is just a strange coincidence. Luckily, Zuno was attacked by Zamas and forced to divulge information about the Super Dragon Balls and Son Goku. This solidifies that there is some wish Zamas will be making using the Super Dragon Balls, which could lead to the creation of Goku Black. This isn't the only thing they need to worry about though, as Goku Black is immortal. Beerus and Whis decide to head back to Universe 10 in order to keep an eye on Zamas, but Beerus reluctantly says that he can't kill immortals, so they would probably need to do something else in order to beat Black once and for all. This leads to the separate training that happened later in the arc originally. Goku goes to learn the Mafuba, while Vegeta trains in the Time Chamber to overpower Black before the Mafuba is used. It's only half a day before they are set to return to the future and face Goku Black once again. The fight starts with Vegeta pinning down Black with a barrage of attacks. While his body begins to regenerate from the onslaught, Goku quickly teleports in and uses the Mafuba. But just like the original, Goku forgot the seal. With no seal, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks have run out of opportunities, and the Mafuba showed Goku Black that he cannot keep them alive or they can actually ruin his plans. His rage boils to the surface. This anger, it releases as power. That's how Vegeta got stronger, so he would use his own anger to grow as well. No one was more enraged than him, so with the anger in his heart, Goku Black found a new power within him, the Scythe of Sorrow. With this technique, Goku Black is able to tear a hole between dimensions and summons clones of himself to aid in his fight. With the clones at his side, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks are eliminated easily. Notably, Bulma came back with them as well, so she is also killed. The characters in the present timeline would wait forever, it seems like, for Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma to never return. Back in the future timeline, Goku Black no longer has any mortals to worry about in Universe 7, so he begins to invade other universes. Some have beings that actually cause him to take damage and get stronger. This power will be needed shortly, as he's about to enter Universe 11. As many gods are aware, there is a rumor that this universe holds a mortal that's even stronger than their god of destruction. This was one of the roadblocks in the Zero Mortals plan. Though Zamas thought it was just a rumor at first, meeting Goku and Vegeta made him realize that such a mortal could truly exist. He couldn't take any chances. Once he arrived, he was immediately greeted by Margarita and the new god of destruction, Toppo. Goku Black took out all the Kaioshins and gods of destruction before slaughtering the mortals of Universe 7, but that gave the apprentice god of destruction time to get initiated and made into the new god of Universe 11. "I didn't expect a replacement to be ready so quickly." Toppo tells Black that he will pay for what he's done and that destruction will deal justice. With that, Toppo transforms into his god of destruction form and prepares to battle Goku Black. Black realizes that this being may be the one who's stronger than Belmod, and if he is, that could be a problem. Stalling would be the only option he'll have. As the two begin to fight, it seems evident that Toppo is actually stronger than Goku Black, but the gap doesn't seem significant enough to be a massive issue, so Black decides to not use his clones so that he may gain the full benefits of this battle. Black would eventually outclass Toppo, and then he could keep him around a little longer to grow even further. Without the Saiyans, Black needed new fodder to grow his power off of. Toppo could take that role. As Black and Toppo continue to exchange blows, Toppo eventually launches a Hakai, but even a Hakai could not stop Black. Remember, Beerus and Whis said that they have a special way to seal away immortal beings, and Beerus expressly says he can't kill immortals. "You seem to have a misunderstanding. Only I decide what justice is." When Black fully regenerates from the Hakai, Toppo realizes that the being he faces is immortal. He tells Margarita to ready the sword, but as soon as he hears Toppo say that, he grabs the god's shoulder and teleports away. The pesky sealing technique of the gods wouldn't interfere with this fight now. However, Goku Black teleported to the first being he could sense. That being was one of colossal power, Jiren. Black and Toppo continue their fight, which grabs the attention of Jiren, who quickly realizes that Toppo is losing badly after Black regenerated from the Hakai. Toppo is eventually knocked back and sent flying towards Jiren, who looks down at his old ally with a disappointed look. "I expected more from you." Toppo apologizes, and Jiren steps in to fight Goku Black instead. Toppo warns Jiren that Goku Black is immortal, so he can't simply be overpowered. Jiren remains stoic and presses forward though. As Jiren approaches, he lets off an intense aura, an aura that is beyond anything Goku Black has ever felt. He quickly realizes his miscalculation. He assumed that Toppo was the strongest being in this universe that he'd have to contend with. But the rumor wasn't about Toppo. It was about Jiren. Jiren instantly charges in and begins to pummel Goku Black. Even in Super Saiyan Rose, he was just no match for the strongest mortal of them all. But Jiren couldn't kill him either. Luckily for Jiren, he has a tool to capture criminals, and it's something that the Pride Troopers use all the time. Once he gets Black into a vulnerable position, Jiren shrinks him into a capsule, trapping him. But with the power he's acquired from fighting Jiren, he wouldn't let this small prison hold him. The capsule begins to glow a vivid pink and explodes open in Jiren's hand, releasing Goku Black once again. Goku Black was adjusting to Jiren's strength as the fight went on. Jiren is forced to let out more and more power until eventually he delivers a heavy blow that plants an idea in Goku Black's mind. The power his body was craving was a power beyond the gods, and more than likely, a power beyond Jiren's. His body was beginning to understand the power of the angels, Ultra Instinct. If this fight kept up, Goku Black might be able to unlock the full power of Ultra Instinct. Then he may be truly unstoppable. So, Black begins to drop his guard in order to speed up the process. Damage would be converted to power anyway, and eventually his body would seek to move on its own should he let it be pummeled for long enough. So, each of Jiren's punches push Black further and further back. A heat begins to emanate from Black's body. A new power is beginning to awaken. He can feel his body's desire to move on its own. Ultra Instinct is only a moment away. Toppo slices Goku Black with a blade that looks reminiscent of the Z-Sword. Goku Black laughs at the puny attack until he can feel his body being pulled into the blade. This is the sealing technique of the gods, the technique that Beerus and Whis mentioned in canon, the same technique that Beerus used to seal away Elder Kai millions of years ago. Toppo was given the sword by Margarita after she arrived and healed him. Jiren tells Toppo he didn't need his help, but Toppo knows he was lying.
Strength is beyond all else. I have no use for techniques that show weakness.
With that, Jiren walks away to begin meditating again, and Toppo goes back to his planet with the blade at his side. There it will remain, untouched until the end of time. However, all isn't happy now. The main timeline is still missing Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma. Well, it's been around a year, so with the help of Whis and Beerus, who are bribed with food of course, they collect the Super Dragon Balls once again. They use them to wish the future timeline back to the way it was before Goku Black appeared. With this wish, all the damage Black had caused was undone. They didn't know that Black was sealed now, but they had hoped that this would give them enough time to return to the main timeline at least. It's a short while before Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma return to the main timeline. Future Trunks is with them as well, and he says that Black is nowhere to be found. Beerus smirks and claims he obviously underestimated himself. His destruction of present Zamas did work to defeat Goku Black. It just took a little time to catch up. While we know the truth, our characters don't, so Trunks thanks Beerus and thanks the others for the wish before returning to his now peaceful timeline. With this, the main timeline should be back to normal, so the Tournament of Power and the Broly movie should happen the exact same way, for the most part at least. Everything is just pushed back an extra year is all, and without a second Zeno, universal erasure might not be a loser's consequence either. Basically, it's all seemed to work out. Well, make sure you like and subscribe for more Dragon Ball content, and thank you so very much for watching.